I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated, and gentlemen, you can put your caps. Thank you, Eduardo Uriel Ariano. I would now like to recognize the co-valedictorians of Cypress Lakes class of 2020. Alyssa Celeste Gomez, daughter of Alice Gomez Molina, and Mandy D. Tran, daughter of Angelina and Alex Tran. Please stand so that we can congratulate you. Congratulations, ladies. Today, we would also like to recognize the young men and women who will be joining our nation's armed services. Graduates, if you have or will be enlisting in the armed forces, please stand so that we can recognize your sacrifice. Audience members, if you are currently serving or have served in the military, please stand with our graduates. We appreciate your commitment and service to our country, and we thank you. Please be seated. We are so proud of the accomplishments of each graduate and applaud the families and friends who have shared in making this day possible. We welcome our virtual audience. We are glad you are all here, wherever you are, to celebrate with us as we graduate our 2020 Spartans. So, seniors, our last real time together was senior sunrise, the day we joyfully left for spring break. And now you sit before us in your caps and gowns with an array of colors showing your involvements in clubs, organizations, and honor societies to celebrate another sunrise. And what a sunrise that it is. How very glad we are to see you. You've spent 12 years preparing for this moment. Then your journey, our journey, took a very unexpected turn. Over the past weeks, the class of 2020 has forever cemented itself in history. You join graduates across the world who wonder what might have been. You had titles to win, games to complete, missions to finish, and all that came to an abrupt halt. But your high school journey isn't over, because from your time at Cypress Lakes, you will focus not on what could have been, but is and what will be. The qualities you honed here will carry you successfully into your futures. You, class of 2020, were our inaugural freshman academy. You are a class that far exceeded our vision. You have a strong sense of community and a true respect for each other. Your teachers use these words to describe you. Peacemakers. Your kindness to each other and to the staff is always evident. Encouragers. You are there for each other, on the court, in the classroom, on the field, even helping your classmates navigate this new world of virtual learning. Unselfish. You are willing to help each other and at times give up something dear to you for the greater good. Morale builders. Separately and collectively, you have been there for each other. Humble. You don't boast about accomplishments. You get the job done and you keep moving. Adaptable. You have managed a strange world with strength and resilience. Your curiosity for learning has never been more apparent than in this virtual world as you've continued to work hard and keep connected with Cypress Lakes. You have never given up in any venue. When needed, you know how to dig deep as an individual, as a team, as a class. These qualities are what will sustain and define you in the years to come. You are entering a world where there are more questions than answers, and it will be up to you to adapt and succeed. You are called as a global class to face the future with passion, compassion, patience, and enthusiasm. And you have all that. You are essential. You have Spartan valor, and no one can take that away from you. Our entire Cypress Lakes community celebrates you and wishes you well. Our world will be a better place because of you. Congratulations, seniors. I'd like now to recognize the guests on stage who have joined us to celebrate your successes. On stage sharing this event with us are our Board of Trustees, Dr. John Ogletree, Bob Covey, Tom Jackson, Don Ryan, Julie Heineman, Gilbert Sarabia, and our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Mark Henry. And please give a huge thank you to the Beth Wade and the Berry Center. The hours they have spent to make this possible are untold, and we are very grateful. You are surrounded both physically and virtually by Cypress Lakes staff members who have unselfishly given of their time and energy to assist you on this journey. These Spartan staff members, plus your elementary and middle school educators and the CFISD family, all applaud you. If you are a part of our Spartan staff family, please stand. Thank you. Melanie Reyes was selected by a faculty panel to deliver the address for the class of 2020. Melanie is the daughter of Sally and Jonathan Reyes. Melanie, please come forward to deliver the commencement address to your class.
Good morning to the wonderful faculty, staff, family, friends, and graduates of the Spartan class of 2020. My name is Melanie Reyes, and I'm going to start this speech by saying possibly the most cliche statement that can be spoken at a graduation ceremony. We made it. But those words just don't have the same meaning as they would to any other graduating class. No, our high school experience is not simply defined by the usual problems of acne and teenage hormones. As a class, we've endured a record-breaking hurricane and an unprecedented worldwide pandemic. And yet, we stand here today to receive our diplomas, untainted by the challenges that have faced us. In the months preceding this ceremony, we were left guessing, unsure of whether we'd ever be able to celebrate our high school accomplishments. And it might be outside at 8 in the morning, in the humidity of a Houston morning, but we are here. We made it. But it is easy to ask ourselves, why us? Why did a pandemic have to happen in our last moments of youthhood? And I'm sorry. I'm sorry we didn't get to experience prom. I'm sorry to the athletes and the performers who didn't get to have their last season. I'm sorry that our last moments of high school took place on a computer screen. And most of all, I'm sorry we didn't get to say proper goodbyes. But rather than dwelling on what we've lost in the past few months, let's take a step back and focus on what we did get to experience for the past 4 years. 4 years ago, we walked into the double doors of Cypress Lakes High School, greeted by the beaming smiles of the Sterling Stars. From the beginning, we were told, "You are the class of 2020. Your vision is clear." But at that point, we might have actually felt pretty blind. We blindly walked into our first class, our first football game, and our first homecoming. We blindly began the Freshman Academy program where they always reminded us about the importance of our future. But that seemed so far away at the time. We couldn't see that far yet. No, our vision was not clear. It was after this year that Hurricane Harvey hit. Back then, missing 2 extra weeks of school, it seemed crazy. But again, we were blind of what was to come. Then everything changed junior year. We'd been going about high school blindly, only half listening to the important advice from our teachers and our counselors. But suddenly, everything started to come into clearer view. We worked tirelessly to build the application that would determine the next step of our lives. Between ACT and SAT prep, clubs, sports, extracurriculars, tougher classes, and working our first jobs, suddenly, our future was closer than it was far, and the world of adulthood was in our sights. And finally, after 3 long years of being kindly reminded by Mr. Pham to put our IDs on, we came to the final stretch, our senior year. Finally, as we came to the end of high school, it began to be like the class of 2020's vision was actually clear. With delight, we began our last first day of school. We attended our last homecoming. Athletes played their last games and attended their last meets. There was a whirlwind of history-making accomplishments. For the first time ever, the boys and girls basketball teams advanced to playoffs together. Lakes for Lives invited the former mayor to speak to us. The AV team won a competition to be recognized by FBI Houston. Seniors in the music, speech, and theater departments qualified for regional and state competitions. Athletes signed to continue their sports in college. And everyone, no matter where they were in high school, took steps to further their future. And as the end of the year approached, we began ordering our prom tickets and our cap and gowns. Everything became surreal, as the things we looked forward to for years had finally come among us. But on March 6th, 2020, we began the day with a senior sunrise. Everyone felt the serene feeling of togetherness as we watched the sun fill our beloved football field with its orange and pink rays. Most schools have their senior sunrise in early fall as a symbol of the beginning of the year. We had ours in the spring. Little did we know that on that quiet morning, on March 6th, 2020, we watched the sun rise on what would be our very last day of high school. This in itself should make it clear that our unfortunate ending to senior year was not an end at all. It was a beginning, just as a sunrise begins every single day. No matter the obstacles that are presented to us, we are a class, a generation of individuals meant to tackle these challenges and come out even stronger. About 18 years ago, each of us were brought into this world during the devastation surrounding the 9/11 tragedy. Today, we graduate during a pandemic. We are unmistakably defined by these unprecedented events for a reason. No other high school class will face the unique set of challenges that has strengthened us and taught us the meaning of patience and endurance. We stand differently. And if you don't believe me, believe your teachers.